Okay guys, this is the next video for Book of Angles. So you see here that we have bisected angles, example 2. So the first thing I need to do is to draw, let's see, AR bisecting angle PAT. So let me draw an angle. I don't know if it's obtuse or acute, I don't know. I'm just drawing an obtuse angle so that I have more space to work with, but it really doesn't matter. All right, so try your best to draw this line in the middle. So it says this is angle PAT, that's the whole thing, and then AR bisects it. AR cuts it in half. So our key word here is bisects. Don't forget that means to cut in half. Then we see that the measure of angle PAR is 5x plus 12. So that is PAR. So that's this area in here. That's the angle. And that's 5x minus 12. Then we have angle RAT, so that's RAT, so that's this area over here. And that is going to be 2x plus 24. Okay, so now that we've established that, we know that this thing says bisects, which means that this is going to be a part equals part, excuse me. So this is going to be a part equals part. And then it says that we need to find the measure of angle PAT, which as you can see here, PAT, that's the whole thing. So that's what we need to figure out when we're done. So the first part, of course, is 5x minus 12. The second part is 2x plus 24. We know that these parts are equal. So we're going to use the insolve function on the calculator, or you can solve it by hand. I'll just solve it by hand. Why not? Take a break from using the insolve function. Okay, so then we get 3x minus 12 equals 24. I'm going to add 12 to both sides. And then I'm going to get 3x equals 36. And if I divide both sides by 3, I get x equals 12. All right, and of course, if you use the insolve function, you should also get 12. All right, now that we have established that, we need to plug it back in. And we're going to need to plug it back into both. So I have the 5x minus 12, so that's 5 times 12 minus 12, which is going to give us 48 degrees. And then the second angle, that was 2 times 12 plus 24, which is also 48 degrees. And if you're not sure, just go type both of those into your calculator to make sure they each equal 48. All right, and again, since we need the whole thing, we need PAT, we have to add those together, and then that's going to be 96 degrees. So the measure of angle PAT equals 96 degrees. All right, moving right along. So now we're moving on to the angle addition postulate. So angle addition postulate is just like segment addition postulate. Basically, they're saying add one side to the other and get the whole thing. Add one part to the other, get the whole thing. So over here we see part plus part equals whole. That's pretty much what it means. So that's what we're going to be using. Okay, so let's go to example 1. D is in the interior of ABC. Let me draw that first. So D is in the interior of ABC. So I'm just going to draw an angle. Again, I'm drawing it obtuse just to give me more space, but I don't actually know if it's obtuse or not. I'm just making it up. All right, so A, B, and C. And then it says point D is on the interior. So I'll just put point D right there. And I already know that we're doing angles, so I'm going to draw a ray through point D. All right, so then it tells me that the measure of ABD, so that's ABD, oops, didn't mean to do all that, is here. So ABD, that's this area. Okay, so that's that. So that's going to be 6x. And then the measure of angle DBC, so that's DBC, that's this area down here, is going to be 2x plus 22. Okay. And then it says the measure of ABC, which is the whole thing, is going to be 113. So this whole thing, I'm kind of drawing it in a weird way. Let me do it the other way. So the whole thing is 113 degrees. Okay. All right, so now let's go about finding ABD, which is the first angle. So we're looking for angle ABD. All right, so here we go. We know that since this is this type of problem, there is no key word really. So I'm just going to say we're going to use is in the interior as our key phrase, I guess. So that tells us this is going to be a part plus part equals whole problem. All right, so let's go ahead and add the two parts together. So we have our 6x, we have our 2x plus 22, and then the whole thing is 113. Okay. Now we're going to type this in to our TI Inspire. All right, so we're gonna hit the little book looking thingy, go through all the steps to get numerical solve, and then hit done. All right, so then we're going to have 6x plus 2x plus 22 equals 113. And don't forget comma x. Hit enter, and we get 11.375. So that's going to be x equals 11.375. That seems like a very strange number to get, so let's plug it in to make sure we got it right. So we have 6x. Let me go ahead and plug that in. So that's 6 times 11.375. Okay, let me do that on the calculator. So if you just hit the times button, it automatically brings up the previous answer. So I get 68.25. Okay, so that's what I got for that one. Let me check the other one as well. So that's going to be 2 times 11.375 plus 22. All right, so that would be 2 times 11.375 plus 22, and we get 44.75. And of course, we're just going to add these two to make sure they equal 113. Remember, because the whole thing is 113. So it's going to be 68.25 plus 44.75. And we add those together. Boom, boom, boom. Oops. Yeah, we're good. All right, so let's figure out which answer we need. So it says find ABD. Which one was ABD? That was the one that I did right here, the 6x. So that means this is our answer. This is the measure of angle ABD. Example 2. So we have these two parts here. All right, so we see, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and get my highlighter ready. So the measure of angle BAD, okay, so that's going to be BA, I'll put that on the outside, BAD. All right, so that's going to be, or that's the whole thing, that's 15x plus 39. And then we see that this angle over here is 11x plus 10, and this angle here is 8x plus 1. And then it asks us to find BAR. So that would be the top angle, because it starts at B, goes to A, then goes to R. So I'm trying to color code it there, if that helps. If not, just follow along. All right, so this is definitely a part plus part equals whole, because we have a part here, and the whole thing there. So that's kind of how you can tell as well. So this is going to be part plus part equals whole. This one doesn't really have any key words. That's kind of how I know it's part plus part equals whole as well. So the first part is 11x plus 10. The second part is 8x plus 1. And we have to add them up, and it's going to equal 15x plus 39. All right, so this is our equation. We can type it in exactly as we see it. So I'm going to go over to the Inspire app, bring up and solve again. All right, so that's... Okay, don't forget comma x and hit enter. All right, so I get 7. So that means x equals 7. Okay, and then with that 7, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. Now, technically, I only have to plug it into BAR, but you know I'm going to plug it into all three because I need to make sure that this is actually equal. I want to make sure that my answer is correct. All right, so here we have 11 times 7 plus 10, which is 87 degrees. Okay, I'm going to plug it into this one, so that's going to be 8 times 7 plus 1, which is 57 degrees. And then I'm going to plug it into this guy, so that's going to be 15 times 7 plus 39, which is 144 degrees. Okay, so now we're just going to double check by adding these two together and making sure that they equal 144 degrees, which they do. So we check that both of those are equal, so all of our work is correct. Now, which answer is the one we needed? We needed BAR, which is right here. Okay, and we are done. So this was the measurement for angle BAR. So don't forget BAR, that was that angle, the top angle. Example 3. All right, so we have another bisect problem. So let's go ahead and draw an angle. Again, I don't know if it's obtuse or not. I'm just drawing an example that gives me the most space to work with. So this is angle PAT. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put AR right here. All right, so it says bisect, so under normal circumstances, that would be part equals part, right? Okay, so let's see what the problem has to offer. So PAR is 2x plus 4, so PAR, and that is 2x plus 4. Okie dokie, so now we also have PAT, so that's the whole thing, PAT. Okay, so this one's a little different because instead of us getting the other part, we get the whole thing, which is 5x minus 24. So the whole thing is 5x minus 24, and then the question asks us to find the measure of RAT. So we're looking for RAT. So this is the area down here, and this is what we do not know. All right, so we know that part equals part. So basically what I'm saying is we know that this also has to be the same as this. Okay, so I'm going to start by writing that again. So since part equals part, and they didn't even give me the other part, I'm just going to write it twice. We don't know what x is, but we can definitely write it twice because we know that they're equal. All right, we also know the whole thing. When you are given the whole thing, that gives you permission to use part plus part equals whole. So we're actually using two different rules for this problem, and that's okay. So we have 2x plus 4. That's the first part. The second part was also 2x plus 4 because we know that they have to be equal, so that's legal. That's fine. And then we know the whole thing is 5x minus 24. Okay, so there you go. There's your equation. If you want to combine like terms, you can, just like normal, but if you don't want to, you can do it just like this in the calculator. All right, so I'm going to go to end solve, and I'm going to go ahead and type 2x plus 4 twice, so plus 2x plus 4 again, equals 5x minus 24, comma x. Hit enter, and I get x equals 32. So x equals 32. All right, so now that I've got that, let me go back and plug it in. All right, so that's going to be 2 times 32 plus 4, which is 68 degrees. We automatically know the second one has to be the same because it's the exact same thing, so I'm just going to write 68 degrees. And then we want to make sure that this one equals the sum. So I'm going to come out here so I get some space. Okay, and then that one is going to be 136. Oops, wrote that weird. 136 degrees. Okay, and just make sure that when you add these two, that it equals 136 degrees, which it does. All right, cool beans. Now, which one is our answer? We need RAT. Well, we already did that. That one's right here. So there's our answer. Since there's so much work, please make sure you box your answers. So the measure of RAT is 68 degrees. We already did our work to figure out and verify.